welcome. If you're a medical coder, you already know the ground has just completely shifted. Endovascular revascularization coding has been rebuilt from scratch. So let's not waste any time. We're going to dive right into this rapid-fire guide to get you up to speed on the new territory-based system, like right now.
Okay, we're moving fast, so here's the game plan. First, we'll cover the big shift, why this happened. Then, we'll build the entire coding logic using the iliac territory as our blueprint. After that, we'll map all 4 territories, nail down the tricky rules for bilateral procedures and lithotripsy. I'll show you the top 3 audit traps to avoid, and we'll finish with a quick drill to make sure it all sticks.
All right, first things first, you have to understand that the fundamental way we think about these procedures is over. It's done. We are no longer coding based on individual arteries. The whole game has changed to a system based on major vascular regions, or what we now have to call territories.
And to make this shift happen, they made a clean sweep. The entire old code family you've known for years, 37220 through 37235, is gone, deleted, wiped from the book. You have to unlearn these, get them out of your head, because using them is a guaranteed error.
So what's in their place? 46. That's right, 46 brand new codes. This is not some minor update, people. This is a total reconstruction of how we code for these procedures, and it's all about bringing the codes in line with how things are actually done in the real world. So you might be asking, why this massive, painful overhaul? Well, the AMA and RUC basically flagged the old codes. Why? Because procedure volumes were just exploding, and the supplies are super expensive. Plus, the old system, it just wasn't cutting it anymore. It lacked the detail needed to describe what was really happening, like vessel access, catheter placements, or imaging, all stuff the new codes now wrap in. And that brings us to the single most important concept you have to burn into your brain, the vascular territory. This is the new foundation. From here on out, before you even think about a code, you must first ask, which of the 4 major vascular regions was treated? Everything starts there. So let's build our playbook. We're going to master the core logic of this entire system by just focusing on one region, the iliac territory. I promise once you get the logic here, you'll understand how all the other territories work. It's the blueprint for everything. The first big rule is all about hierarchy. In any single territory, you will have one and only one initial vessel code. That's for the first vessel treated. Now, if the doctor treats a second or third vessel inside that same territory, during the same procedure, that's when you use an add-on code. This initial versus add-on idea is totally fundamental. Okay, next choice you have to make, lesion complexity. And it's a simple two-way street. Is the lesion a straightforward stenosis? Just a narrowing of the vessel. Or is it a complex occlusion, meaning it's completely blocked? That one choice sends you down 2 totally different coding paths. Now listen up, because this is absolutely critical, and it's going to be a huge audit flag. The definition of complex is not up for debate. It has to be a 100% total occlusion. A 99% blockage? Nope, that's still a stenosis, and it gets coded as straightforward. The physician's documentation has to be crystal clear on this point, or you can't use the complex code. This little table here lays out the logic perfectly. You can literally see how the code changes based on those factors we just talked about. Look, a straightforward angioplasty on the initial vessel, that's 37254. But if that exact same lesion was a complex occlusion, boom, it becomes 37256. Now switch the procedure to a stent. The straightforward initial vessel is 37258, and the complex one is 37260. See the pattern? It's consistent and predictable. Another massive change is that these new codes are basically all-inclusive. All that work that used to be confusing or separately coded, like getting access, snaking the catheter into place, actually crossing the lesion, and all the imaging and S&I that goes with it, it's now all bundled into that main procedure code. This is huge for preventing unbundling. Okay, so you've got the iliac playbook down. Let's see how this exact same blueprint builds out across the entire lower extremity. It's time to map all 4 of the new vascular territories. And here they are. We just nailed the iliac territory, which covers the common, external, and internal iliac arteries. Next up, you've got the femoral/popliteal territory and the tibial/peroneal territory. And then, check this out, number 4, the inframalleolar territory is brand new. These are vessels that never even had specific revascularization codes before. So here it is, the key takeaway, the universal blueprint for coding any of these procedures. It's always these 4 steps in this exact order. 1, identify the territory. Is it iliac, femoral, or tibial? 2, is this the initial vessel or an add-on? 3, define the lesion, straightforward stenosis or complex occlusion. And 4, pick your code based on the intervention, angioplasty or stent. The code numbers will change for each territory, but this 4-step logic, it is exactly the same for all of them.
All right, time for a rapid-fire round. We're going to tackle 2 areas that are just ripe for mistakes: coding bilateral procedures and using the new add-on codes for intravascular lithotripsy. You've got to get these right.
The rule for bilateral procedures is super specific, so listen close. For the initial vessel code, you just report it once and slap on a modifier 50. Easy. But, and this is a big but, for any add-on codes, you never, ever use modifier 50. Instead, you report the add-on code twice, maybe on 2 separate lines. This is a huge change from old habits, and it's a trap waiting to happen. Next up, lithotripsy. For the iliac territory, the new add-on code is 37262. You use this in addition to the main angioplasty or stent code when lithotripsy is done in the same vessel. And guess what? Just like our other add-ons, if it's done bilaterally, you report this code twice. No modifier 50. See the pattern?
We're almost there, so let's lock in on how to stay out of trouble. Here are the top 3 audit flags, the most common errors you absolutely have to watch out for with this new code set.
Number 1, upcoding a stenosis to a complex lesion. Just don't. Remember, it has to be documented as 100% blocked, period. Number 2, misusing modifier 50 on an add-on code. Report the code twice instead. And number 3, unbundling. Forgetting that stuff like catheter placement and Sanley are now baked into the main procedure code. Avoid these 3 pitfalls and you're already way ahead of the game.
Okay, let's make sure this all sunk in. It's time for a quick final drill to see how well you've grabbed onto this new logic. Ready? First question's up. A physician performs an angioplasty on a totally 100% occluded initial vessel in the iliac territory. What's the code? And the answer is 37,256. Boom! That's where complex lesion, angioplasty, initial vessel. You got it. Okay, last one, a little trickier. A straightforward stent is placed in a second iliac vessel on both the right and left sides. The initial vessel is already taken care of. How do you report the work on this additional bilateral vessel? The answer? You report code 37259 twice. Why? Because it's an add-on code, so no modifier 50. You got it? See? The new system is logical once you have that blueprint. And now you have it. You're ready to code these procedures accurately and with confidence. You've got this.